What's his name? Kuzco!
Characters can be terrible,
I don't make deals with peasants.
and you can enjoy them.
Yeah, doy.
Oh, yeah.
Kuzco says, I'm gonna take your home and turn it into my own little private water park.
It's my birthday gift to me.
And the fact that Pacha is being kind when he doesn't have to.
Pacha has integrity coming out of his nostrils.
This is all right. We can figure this out.
Kuzco sees genuine altruism, and it cannot help but affect him.
Don't read too much into it.
We get all the time in the comments, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. Let us explain how adjectives work.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy.
And I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. What are we doing today, man?
We're fixing men.
Yes!
We're gonna do it
We're gonna do it.
in the next 26 minutes.
Using
You're
Disney.
using The Emperor's New Groove.
What could possibly go wrong?
Where nothing can possibly go wrong. That's the first thing that's ever gone wrong.
We're gonna learn how to be men from a llama. So Kuzco starts off maybe not in the best place vis-a-vis masculinity and its toxicity. He learns and grows.
Yeah.
Pacha starts in a really good place with some slight issues. He also learns and also grows.
But Pacha, overall healthy masculinity.
Yeah.
And Kuzco, not so great.
Just to address the elephant in the room. The llama in the room.
Can I do this?
Go for it.
We get all the time in the comments, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. Masculinity is not toxic. Let us explain how adjectives work. When I say the phrase moldy bread, nobody comments,
But all bread isn't moldy.
yeah, bread isn't moldy, or not all bread is moldy. Yes, but this bread is. That's why we're using the adjective. Similarly, masculinity isn't toxic, but the type of masculinity that says you can never be tenderhearted. You have to put down women. You have to lead with rage and aggression. You have to be homophobic in order to be a man.
You have to dominate through strength instead of using your strength to support and uplift.
Exactly. That is a version of masculinity that is toxic.
Thanks for that. I'll log that away.
Boom, baby.
Your Highness, it is time for you
So,
to choose your bride.
Cusco's great. We
Alrighty.
all love Cusco.
Trot out the
But he's
ladies.
great as a character
Let's
to
take a
enjoy.
look-see. Hate your hair. Not likely. Yikes. 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 And let me guess, you have a great personality. Is this
He's
really
not a great
best
character
fit?
for, how to not objectify women.
What is
Oh,
he,
right.
bad?
Not a role model.
like
He's
the
judged
thing
this
that wouldn't
entire
shut up.
lineup based on their looks.
I'm the emperor.
And by the way, they're all lovely.
Advisor.
Well, and they're all the same.
Yeah, they're all by design.
It's only dealing with meaningless peasant matters.
Whoa.
I may have
Look at these wrinkles. What is holding this woman
And
together?
listen, still objectifying,
What the?
not great. Yzma is the villain,
Yeah.
and it's objectively funny. But, not great.
No. We see right out of the gate every woman that Kuzco interacts with, his first thought is what they look like.
Well, and that's how he assigns value, right?
Yeah, and by his first thought, I mean his only thought.
Right.
We don't see him go any deeper than that, except maybe a little bit later on when he realizes Pacha married up.
Yeah.
Right? But everybody realizes that. So not a great example. And here's the thing. Characters can be terrible, and you can enjoy them.
100%.
Especially if they're roasting something that you disagree with in real life. So for example, we have an episode on Gaston, which you can watch right here. I hate Gaston as a person.
He's probably my favorite Disney villain.
I love Gaston as a
love
character.
watching him.
It's so terrible.
It's about time you got your head out of those books and paid attention to more important things. Like me.
You know what? Life sometimes feels like a complicated puzzle trying to fit all the pieces together.
Running your empire,
Building your summer home.
firing your mutinous advisor.
And of course, your healthcare.
But finding healthcare shouldn't be the trickiest piece to try to fit into what's going on. It shouldn't throw off your groove.
ZocDoc makes it easy to find and book an appointment with a doctor you'll love.
And it shouldn't take getting turned into a llama to prioritize your healthcare.
ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality, in-network doctors so you can find someone you'll love.
You can find doctors that are right for you
See their real-time availability.
and click to instantly book.
No waiting around, no phone tag.
You can even find in-network appointments with more than 150,000 healthcare providers across all 50 states and the Incan Empire.
You can easily search by specialty or symptom to build the care team that's right for you.
I wonder if they have any specialists who treat therianthropy,
Buh.
getting turned into an animal.
Guh.
ZocDoc appointments happen fast. typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments, you lucky llama.
I'm going to use ZocDoc to find and book great doctors near me.
So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy.
This message is sponsored by ZocDoc. Yeah. So this is clearly the toxic version of how to treat women, relate to women, and we'll see a better example from Pacha.
I'm going through a growth spurt. I'm as big as you were when you were me.
Mm-hmm. Sure are.
That's not as impressive as my loose tooth. See?
Okay.
As a parent, very
The deal
relatable.
was that you could stay awake until Daddy came home. Now say goodnight.
Dad, do we have to?
No, you two can stay up. We're just gonna be sitting here telling each other how much we love each other. Right, honey?
Good night.
So, what did the Emperor want?
Oh, you know what?
Also super relatable as a parent.
See you? Why not?
I don't know.
Well, that's just rude.
Well, he is the Emperor. I'm sure he's busy.
No, Emperor.
I love
or
that
no
she
Emperor,
snarls
I'll
here. This is my favorite bit.
Honey?
If that were me,
The snort
I'd
snarl
run right
thing.
out there and demand to see him, and you know I would.
Sweetie, think of the baby.
Pacha, I'm fine. This baby's not coming for a while, but even if it was, I'd give that guy a piece of my mind. That kind of behavior, just. I'll watch something.
He clearly loves his wife, clearly respects her, and is like, very, despite the jokes about her cooking, very respectful of the role that she has and how she is doing it and all of that stuff. There's one little...
What, that he lies to her?
He does lie to her.
He does lie to her about Cusco, but this is not upheld as a virtue. This is a flaw. This is a poor decision on his part, and later he has to rectify it, and that's just storytelling. That's just characterization. I love how affectionate he is with her, how affectionate he is with his kids, that he gets down, and instead of he's been walking all day, things didn't go well in town, leave me alone, I just want to go to bed, he stops and he takes the time to interact with his kids, and what his kids are talking about is objectively ridiculous.
It is the ancient Incan version of my kids explaining in depth to me their Minecraft build.
It doesn't matter. It's important to them, so it's important to him. Pacha is a wonderful example of healthy masculinity because he is animated as an inverted triangle.
Sure.
He's a giant, strong man. And being present and being attentive and being openly affectionate and being tender-hearted doesn't diminish his strength or his power in the slightest.
Right.
In fact, it enhances it because it's the whole reason it exists.
Well, and you really see it in that final shot of the scene, right? Where she's all fired up and snort growls and walks out. And we linger on Pacha and we get to see the just absolute adoration in his eyes, right? Like he loves this woman. He would do anything for her, aside from tell the truth. We'll get there. He's going to learn and grow, guys.
He will.
He's going to learn and grow.
I don't make deals with peasants.
I love that his cheek flaps on Pacha.
I can't take you back.
Fine.
do this.
I don't need you. I can find my own way back.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's a little dangerous if you don't know the way.
Nice try, pal.
No, really, I'm telling you, there are jaguars and snakes and quicksand. I'm not listening. I'm not kidding. Listen.
So Pacha trying to help somebody who wronged him, he's just decent.
Yeah, just a good dude.
Don't need spite or revenge or...
Fine. Go ahead. There's no Cusco. There's no Cusco-topia.
Except now he tries spite and revenge. And
He's terrible at it. It's less revenge than leaving someone to their own devices, you know?
well, listen, revenge can be you take revenge, and revenge can also be let the guy walk through a jungle full of jaguars.
Yeah. Well, but this is, of course, my favorite storytelling trope, and I love to see it in real life.
Yeah.
People who want to do the selfish thing, and they just can't. Their conscience won't let them. And they're annoyed at
Is
it.
this why we're such good friends?
Because that's who you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that I'm a good person. This is interesting because we kind of get introduced to Pacha failing a little integrity test with his wife. But like one of his biggest traits, and I think we should talk about this in terms of like positive, healthy masculinity, is integrity.
Yeah.
Right? Pacha has integrity coming out of his nostrils. Like, dude can't help but have integrity, even when he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And so much of what like masculinity tells you to do is like be strong, dominate, go take what you want, and like the strongest wins, and you know, survival of the fittest. That's not what integrity is.
No. And also integrity requires strength. It requires strength to go into the jungle after someone who's been a jerk to you. And one of my favorite sayings is that we don't respect others because of who they are. We respect others because of who we are.
Right.
Kuzco does not deserve Pacha's respect.
No.
Kuzco does not deserve Pacha's help. But it's not about what Kuzco deserves or who Kuzco is. It's about who Pacha is. Pacha is not about to let somebody go to their death when he knows he can help them.
We can figure this out.
I hate you.
Well, and the inverse of that is Kuzco in this scene not respecting Pacha.
Yeah.
He doesn't think that he needs to listen to Pacha at all because he's not respectful, because he doesn't have integrity, because it's not a healthy masculinity llama. He's not a healthy llama.
It is easier to respect and help people who treat you well and you see them as good people.
Sure.
A lot of people will do that. Less people will respect, help, be there for those they don't feel deserve it. It's like, well, they're a jerk, so they can just, again, fine, go out and die. It's not my problem. He tries that on for about 5 seconds and he can't do it.
Doesn't fit.
And also my read on Pacha's integrity, I think in the moment his wife asked him how did it go in town, he doesn't want to tell her in front of the kids. My read is that if Kuzco hadn't shown up as a llama right now, Pacha would go sit outside, sigh for a few minutes.
Go back in and tell her.
And go back in and tell her when the kids are in bed so they can talk it through. Yeah. That's my read on him. In fact, I know that's what would have happened because in a day or two she was going to find out anyway. Like he can't keep
this a secret for very long because Kuzcotopia is happening.
Yeah, I think he didn't want to tell her in front of the kids. So
Please never find my way. I'm the Emperor. And as such, I'm born with an innate sense of direction. Okay, where am I? What? Okay, that.
And then the too late. This again. Clearly just something somebody pitched and was like, I can animate that in 2 weeks. And the director was like, great.
What do you want?
Good with it?
Oh, for me? Why? I don't know what to say.
This movie has this.
Hit the road, Bucky. Ow!
Man, I love an instant karma moment. Like, not in real life, especially when it happens to me.
Sometimes in real life.
Sometimes in real life, it's fun.
I don't want people seriously injured, but I love like people kind of being jerks and then like walking into a pole or something.
People being jerks and then getting hit by a shopping cart.
Yeah.
More of that in my feed, please.
That's the sweet spot right there. So comparing this to Pacha, Kuzco suffers from something called relationship arrogance, which is I will treat well people who I think I have something to I can gain from it, or my status will be amplified by this interaction, by this association. I think of Cal in Titanic.
Sure.
Is a lot like this.
Yes.
Where there's a certain class that I will treat well. Everybody else, everybody below, doesn't deserve it because they're not on my level. They're not good enough. This is absolutely how Kuzco treats a little furry woodland creature.
Yes.
And I love, of course, speaking of karma, that then the little furry woodland creature pops the balloon to have the puma like chase him.
Getting back to just the genius of this movie. Popping the balloon does nothing.
Yeah.
But then the ha! It's like the joke on top of the joke on top of the joke. There's always another joke in this movie, and it's great.
But the cure for relationship arrogance, I think, is recognizing the worth of every person. I've said this a million times. Every person on the planet is a collection of strengths and weaknesses, so we're all in the same boat. Yeah. And either none of us deserve love or we all do. But staggering people into, like, social caste systems of who deserves
what. This person deserves this much love, and this person only this much love.
Now, a comment that we get sometimes is, okay, but that's not specifically masculine. There's just good people and bad people.
True.
I would push back that there are things of how men are socialized to be, how women are socialized to be, directly tied to their gender that leads to the ideas of toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. I will agree with you when it comes to relationship arrogance, that's not gendered. That's just some people are punks.
Yeah. When it comes to, the people are socialized different ways, men and women are socialized to approach things in different ways. Yes, that's bad. We're not saying that's good.
Yeah.
And
ideally, we would live in a world where male, female, non-binary, it all comes down to anyone can be strong, anyone can be soft, anyone can be kind, anyone can have integrity and courage. And
everyone should have at least a measure of all of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, not everybody's going to have the exact same level of every single trait, right? That's
Right.
what makes people people.
And ideally, anyone can be whoever they want. But that's not the world we live in right now. That's why we're making these episodes.
Boom, baby.
Okay. We said this in our previous Emperor's New Groove episode. This is peak David Spade.
Yeah.
Like, David Spade has a narrow area in which he excels.
And he does excel there. And
Well,
this
yeah.
is right in the sweet spot.
When you put him in this or Tommy Boy, it's just like, perfect. Like, what noise is he making while he's shivering
It
over
is
it?
literally my favorite shiver sound I've ever heard. And it's not a shiver sound. He's saying, like he's drumming. Here again, we see Pacha, his integrity. He won't let this llama jerk shiver in the funniest way possible.
Yeah.
Frankly, if it were me, I would be sitting there just...
Yeah. Well, and here's something I really like about Pacha. It is kindness and service without subservience.
Yeah.
Because Kuzco is used to people serving him, seeing to his comfort. But
Bowing and scraping. And...
Right. But even Kuzco knows he's been a dick to Pacha.
Yeah.
He doesn't care that he's been a dick to Pacha, but he knows that he has been.
Yes.
And in his world, he would expect Pacha to be vindictive or spiteful, especially now that they're out in the jungle. Pacha could kill him, let him die. Kuzco says, I'm going to take your home and turn it into my own little private water park. And the fact that Pacha is being kind when he doesn't have to. And also, Pacha isn't being kind because he's respecting the authority or afraid of what the Emperor will do to him if he's not. All of that's been stripped away, and Kuzco sees genuine altruism for the first time, and it cannot help but affect him. Right. I have seen this time and time and time again, that not everybody changes when given genuine kindness and when faced with genuine selflessness. Some people just take advantage of it.
Right.
Some people mock it as weakness. But people who do change, it is when they encounter that happens. Mm-hmm. People aren't shamed into changing, they're loved into changing. And Pacha is showing Kuzco love, not in the sense of he loves Kuzco, but that Pacha is a loving person. And this is a really important distinction.
He shows love to everyone.
Exactly. You can love people you're meeting for the first time, not because you know them enough to love them, but because you are a person who practices love in your interactions.
Yes.
And you can say, and this is justified, like, let's engage in the conversation here. You could say, yeah, but that's not healthy masculinity. That's just being a good person. You're exactly right. The reason it's healthy masculinity is because that action is being performed by a man, plain and simple. And
it would
men,
also be healthy femininity if it was a woman.
Yeah.
It would be healthy humanity if performed by a human. But the reason it's important, and the reason we're talking about it right now, is because men are often socialized to view that as weak.
Yeah.
Well, and something that's interesting here, we see a positive example from Pacha. The negative example from Kuzco is this is a guy who has had everything handed to him, but somehow can't accept help from people.
Yeah.
So like, there's a perfectly good fire that Pacha offers him. He's like, no, I'm gonna be tough. I'm a man.
Sit over.
I'm a man llama. And he walks over and is like, what? It's confusing to me.
Yeah.
But so what am I talking about masculinity?
So I was thinking
This
that
amazing
when I got
awkward
back to the
energy.
city,
Yeah. Love a good awkward frog.
I mean, there's lots of hilltops, and maybe I might, I might.
Are you saying you've changed your mind?
Oh well,
Because you know that means you're doing something nice for someone else.
No, I know that. I know.
And you're all right with that?
Yes. What?
Don't shake unless you mean it. All right. Let's get you back to the palace.
Aw.
What a lovely little scene of lies.
Well, we talked about this in our other Emperor's New Groove episode, which you can watch right here. Mm-hmm. Is Kuzco lying, or does he mean it in this moment, but then he goes back on it later?
Well, and then he finds an opportunity to like, oh, I can go back to being who I was. Yay.
I see it as he's tenuously agreeing to this. He's testing the waters, and then he falls back on selfishness when the opportunity presents itself.
Well, yeah,
But-
well, it's a habit. We always fall back on our habits because they're easy because we've done them before.
Yeah. But I'll be candid. This is part of what we're trying to do here and now, and we get feedback on some level that it's working. Kuzco is responding to a positive male example.
Sure.
And I know both of us not only really love our dads, but really had great dads who modeled this balance of you can be a man and be into manly things and not be ashamed to cry, not be ashamed to be tenderhearted and affectionate, and to act with integrity and courage. And
Yes, you will all be shocked to learn that my father, also emotionally available. Weird.
I love Pacha's willingness to trust. I mean, that's a double-edged sword.
Sure.
And trust always is. I mean, the fact is Pacha is not an outright idiot.
No.
But he sees something that's really happening, which is actual change happening in Cusco. The mistake he makes is that he goes from 0 to 100. For Pacha in this moment, because he's a good man, but he's not perfect, he doesn't trust incrementally, step by step, and let Cusco earn it incrementally. He just goes all in, because this is who he is. He's decent, and he expects other people to be decent.
Yeah.
And it would have been smarter for him to let Cusco take a step, and he takes a step. This is how good people get burned.
It is.
The trick is when you're a good person who's gotten burned, is to figure out how to not lose that.
How to still be a good, trusting person, but also protect yourself. Like, it's a fine line to walk.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know if there's a way to get it right.
No.
There's getting as close as you can while you're sort of going back and forth between trust and distrust.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Hey, was it a good idea to leave your family with those two?
Oh, don't worry. They can handle themselves.
What do you mean the door's stuck? Try jiggling the handle.
Look,
There is no handling.
all we need to talk about is
Are you
Pacha saying, don't worry, they can handle themselves. He's respecting his wife, he's respecting his kids. That's the, like, positive masculinity trait. We're gonna watch the whole rest of this scene because it's so damn funny.
We'll burn your house to the ground.
Well, which is it? That seems
That's it, Kronk. Break the door.
Break it down. What, you kidding me? This is hand-carved mahogany.
I don't care. I'll break it down myself. A one.
Okay, kids, you know what to do.
Oh,
And then just the insane...
With the floor buffer. Like the Indiana Jones punch noise when she hits the door.
How did the kid get there?
Yeah, they just
How
keep
did
getting
she get there?
Okay, children, on your mark, get set.
How is she attached to the rope? None of it makes sense, and guess how much any of us care?
Not at all.
0, because the gags are funny.
This is the... Oh, hang on.
Well, I had a great time. Let's not wait until the next family reunion to get together.
Okay.
I gotta run.
Weirdly, another example of positive masculinity in this movie
It's Kronk.
Kronk's a sweetheart. He's dumb.
Every evil thing Kronk does is because he's easily manipulated and too trusting.
Yeah.
But like all along the way,
He's just a sweet guy who's just lifting heavy things.
and generally he listens to the shoulder angel.
Yeah.
You know?
Look what I can do.
But what does that have to do with anything?
No. He's got a point.
This movie is the most Chuck Jones Looney Tunes energy of a Disney film.
You know what it is, even more than Chuck Jones and Looney Tunes?
What?
Buster Keaton.
Yeah.
There are so many gags in this that feel straight out of a Buster Keaton short from 1918.
Yeah, which, by the way, if you're sleeping on Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, Charlie Chaplin, don't. We're at a place where Cusco says, are you sure it was a good idea to leave your family with those two? At the beginning of the film, Cusco wouldn't have cared. I don't make deals with peasants. These are peasants. They don't
cares?
matter. It's relationship arrogance, right? And Cusco is even so high up on his own mental hierarchy that I doubt that he even treats other royalty with respect from other places.
He's the emperor.
Yeah.
What's above the emperor?
Yeah, he's so arrogant that he doesn't have relationships with anybody. Here, he's showing genuine concern for Pacha's wife and children for no other reason than just like...
Well, he got to know them.
Yeah, the character arc, as we talk about how this movie is kind of cobbled together, but brilliantly cobbled together, but they did it like in a year, like you were saying, that you have this arc that is so strong for Kuzco to where he's starting to drop the toxic masculinity. He's starting to drop the lessons, and you can say, well, but maybe this wasn't how he was socialized to be as a male, it's who he is as an emperor, he's royalty. That's fair.
Sure.
But again, he is a man practicing those traits. And he's dropping them because of these new relationships, because of these new observations. He's learning a new way of being. And I do think he observes Pacha and his family life, and it's happy.
Yes.
Like, Kuzco's got a life full of pleasure but devoid of happiness.
Yeah.
And it's affecting him. It can't help but affect him.
I've actually wanted to ask you about this for a long time. You often hear, and this very much sounds like pop psychology to me, but like you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
A, is there any basis in truth in that? And B, if it is true, I've seen people that make a new group of friends or, you know, are participating in a new group of people and spending a lot of time with them and they change.
Yeah.
Seems to have like face validity. I don't know if there's like research behind it. But this is definitely what's happening with Kuzco. He's never been around people who aren't sycophants.
Right.
He finally is, and he's learning, oh, there's more to life than just having Kuzcotopia.
This is how relationships work. I don't think the maths on it, when people say you're the sum total of the 5 people you spend, I don't know that there's actual research to say it's 5. And
Sure.
and there's other factors at play, like how well do you accept influence? Because if you don't accept influence, because
Yeah, if you have narcissistic personality disorder, you're the sum total of you.
you're the sum total of you, that's right. At the same time, we are social creatures. We do learn from role models, and we do observe and adjust our behaviors based on what we see others do.
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
My voice? LaVile! You thinking what I'm thinking?
Here we go. Apotheosis. That's the word, right? Did I do it right?
I think so.
Okay.
Cat Yzma is the best Yzma, which is saying something because regular Yzma is awesome and hilarious, but
Whale Yzma was pretty good.
I win.
the croc! Oh my gosh!
What are the odds that trapdoor leading me out here?
Oh my gosh!
Oh, okay, we've still got work to do. Because homophobia is funny. Remember when homophobia was funny?
Oh, don't touch each other because we're men.
So look, they've learned and grown, especially Kuzco. He's made a lot of progress. A lot of toxicity gone. A lot of healthiness taking its place.
Yeah.
You know, they could learn to hug.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
See, Farley gets it. So until next time.
Hey, did you see the sky today? Talk about blue.
I'm gonna go watch something.
And
watch movies. Hey friends, this show is partially brought to you by patrons who get things like extended director's cuts. This one's pretty long and has a lot of inappropriate jokes from both Jono and I. We can both be naughty. Patrons with names like these names.
Willow Kruggle,
Danielle Corin,
Real Racer 63,
Ella Frostfire, no spaces.
and Sarcastro. Thank you, patrons. We love you.